com and the director of the Oregon Screams Horror Film Festival. I'm hanging out with Mike Ghoul right now, who is a director who has two films in the festival that are both nominated for multiple awards. Thank you for the time. How you doing, Mike?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Well, give us an idea of where you are from and where were these films shot?
I'm originally from Los Angeles, but I moved to Portland a few years ago. Now I'm located in the Beaverton area, so I'm in Portland area.
All right, good stuff. Well, let's talk about both of your films. There's Rise of the Carriers. Let's talk about that one first.
Okay.
Um, what's the basic synopsis if someone's coming to the theater to see that film and you don't want the festival director to give away the beginning, middle, and the end? Can you please tell us what that film's about?
It's about a world overrun by zombies. Uh, However, the zombies are people on their cell phones, and two two unlikely allies have to fight through the zombie apocalypse.
All right.
That's the best I think I could explain it without
That's
giving
kind of
too much
like
away.
real life, you know.
Yeah,
It's
no, exactly. Yeah, it's eerily similar to everyday life.
I swear to you, I was in front of Home Depot yesterday, just yesterday, and I go to pull out, and this is not the parking lot. This is like the street in front of Home Depot where people are loading. There's this lady standing in the middle, like what would be like the middle lane, just on her phone. And I nudge
It's
my wife, and I'm like, look at this, dude. Look at this. Like, and I didn't want to honk because you'd probably scare the bleep
yeah.
out of her, but I'm like, this
It,
lady, I kind of rolled my window down and turned up my music, and she kind of looked up. But anyway,
you
real
know,
life on that one. Then, and let's just talk about Rise of the Carriers a little bit first. Award nominations. I don't want to get it wrong. Best Oregon Film Award nomination. Best Horror Comedy Film. Why horror comedy? Why make people laugh in this horror genre? What's the reasoning
well,
behind that?
for me, I like the I like all things that have some sort of juxtaposition, but the juxtaposition between kind of I like laughing and being scared or like smile now, cry later, that kind of those they just balance each other out in a weird way that is just fulfilling. Um, and it seems to me like they're the most fun to make because there's a lot of creativity that's involved, and then people just have a fun time, generally speaking.
Yeah, for sure. That falls in line with the tradition of Oregon Screams Horror Film Festival. Very horror centric, but it's almost half and half. You're going to see a lot of funny horror comedies that happen, and so you're contributing to that. You're continuing the
Yeah,
tradition here, and you
excited.
have another one. It's called The Neighbor, and judges really love this one. Best Director Award nomination,
Yeah,
and that's not just Oregon. That's everything in the festival.
that's
So
awesome.
congrats.
Uh,
And then your lead, Timothy Crable, is got a Best Acting Performance Award nomination as well. So tell us about The Neighbor.
okay, so the neighbor is about uh, it's about a suburban serial killer that gets a new neighbor named Dick, and that's kind of all you need to know.
Very
um,
good. A suburban
yeah,
serial killer. I love it.
right.
I
Yeah,
love it. Well, both of
yeah.
these very funny, especially The Neighbor rated so high among the judges. And I think what they like the most is I'm not going to give it away, I promise. But I think what they like the most is that the joke just kept going and
Yeah.
going
It's like
and
to the
going.
point, you want it to get to that extreme, like, okay, I'm done with this. Uh, that was the idea, I think.
Did you write both of these films by yourself?
I wrote The Neighbor, yeah. Um, Rise of the Carriers, I had my friend Joe, who is the star in Rise of the Carriers, the one with the like jean jacket on. He helped me write it, so he kind of like blocked out a couple scenes, and then I would fill in the gaps, and then I basically just cleaned everything up and put in all the, I guess, heavier dialogue in Rise of the Carriers, but the neighbor was all me.
Good stuff. So your screenwriting, your directing, this all had to start somewhere at some point. You were just a person who had some good ideas, and then the next thing you know, you're actually creating a content. You're creating content, either something for people to read or something for people to watch. How did that happen?
Um, I it's been a lifelong process, I guess. I draw a lot, and I think that somewhere inside the drawing, uh, it was like wanting to develop into something else, and I'm only recently have discovered that it was film.
Mm.
I love film. Obviously, I watch a ridiculous amount of movies, but um, it wasn't until I mean, The Neighbor actually is my first film that I've ever made, besides with my family or making my family do stuff for me, little things here and there. But that's the first time I've ever worked with people I didn't know, and so I feel like I'm just barely scratching the surface of what is possible, and I I just feel like I'm always gonna have to make stuff, regardless of whether it's film or drawing or writing or anything like that. It's just always gonna happen, even if I don't want to.
All right. Well, that's pretty transparent. I mean, it doesn't look like your first film to me. It looks really good.
Thank you.
So you definitely have talent. You did your thing. It's just a way of assembling. I think being a director is all about the assembly. It's like being able to see how things are going to finish on screen before they actually, it's like that process
Yeah.
of getting there to that finish point that you envision in your head. Were you someone that was ad-libbing a lot on set and maybe making things up like, "Oh, you know what we could do this," or were you pretty rigid about how you rolled out your script and how you
Uh,
directed it?
huh. That's a good question. I on The Neighbor, I was a little bit more. I want it this specific way. Just because the like jokes in it are they need to be you know delivered a certain way, and just the actions themselves need to play out in a certain way. But for the other one, Rise of the Carriers, I was a little bit more loose and letting people kind of do their thing, and letting, because it is a collaborative process, filmmaking. It's we're all creating together, so it's, you want to give people freedom to do what they feel would fit that character or that specific scene.
Mhm. Excellent. So have you seen your films live in front of an audience that you don't know yet?
No, no. I did the Guignol Fest in Portland last year, and it played at Clinton Street Theater, but I wasn't able to make it, so
Oh,
I didn't get to watch it. I would have
well,
liked to.
now you get your chance. Clinton
Yeah.
Street. We couldn't do this without Clinton Street, man. What a great venue, and a great group of people. So you'll be heading back there. What's the importance? I mean, other than seeing the reaction to your film, which is very important, what else do you hope to get out of the experience of attending a live film festival?
Well, I hope to see good films, because that's the most important thing for me, watching
Hmm.
watching movies. But meeting the people that are making the films too, creating a Rolodex of fellow filmmakers, and uh, being able to either you know create new friends or help each other out with projects down the road.
Sure.
That's I think probably the most gonna be the most valuable aspect of it.
Good. Well, I'm glad we can still do these things, man. I tell you what, there's a trend with people going virtual and not coming back. It's tough to still do the live events, but at the same time, I feel like it's not really a film festival unless you can do something live. And even when we're under social distancing restrictions, we moved our event to drive-in theaters and just continue to
Oh,
do them in an outdoor event. And so we just want to keep the live experience alive the best we can. Are you going to be there with some friends?
yes, I will be there. It's the 21st of August.
Yes.
Yes, I'm definitely going to be there. I'm excited. Yeah, a few of the people from the films will be there too. So it
Oh,
we
good.
yeah, we'll all be there.
Well, I appreciate you making the time today and hashing this out a little bit and talking about the background of both your movies. Both are very successful in the minds of the judges, and there's a reason why you're going to have that big stack of award nominations presented to you. And we'll see. The winners will be announced at the festival. The judges haven't even told me who the winners are yet, but
Uh,
we will find out in August. All
that's
right.
awesome. Yeah, thank you guys.
No worries. Is there anything you wanted to add? Are you working on anything new?
I'm constantly working on stuff. I think I am working on you know different projects. I think mostly though I'm trying to uh take kind of like the style that I've been like developing in filmmaking and putting it into longer form films. Like I'm just trying to make longer movies because I think the goal is feature films, for everybody. So
Mhm.
trying to climb that mountain.
All right. Well, exciting times. Well, I'm glad we could
Yeah,
be, on your trail up that mountain. I'm glad Oregon Screens could be there for you, support, filmmakers from Oregon, talented like yourself, or at least who reside in Oregon now,
yeah.
talented like yourself. So, we're honored to show your work, and we appreciate it.
Thank you guys so much.
No worries. Have a good one.
All right, you too.